Hi, my name is Jeannie, and this is Bisaya in America. So I'm still doing the episode on the app, and I think this may be the best way for me to get on the podcast more regularly, because it's kind of hard to set up the computer, set up the microphone and everything, and at the end of the day, just want to talk. So anyway, I remember. So the topic for today is about misconceptions about America. So when I first came to America, I really thought that America was going to have like flying vehicles, like skyscrapers everywhere, and that it was going to be, so technologically advanced, like everything was going to be like 20, 30 years, like technologically more advanced than the rest of the world. And having been in America and having traveled and lived in America, I realized that this was a misconception, because America is not what I thought it was going to be. It's not as advanced as a lot of countries, I think, right now. There's definitely European countries that are far more advanced, and also Asian countries that are more technologically more advanced. Like for example, China, a lot of skyscrapers. Parts of Asia, Southeast Asia has, Japan as well, more technologically advanced, like in terms of infrastructure, skyscrapers, and technology as well. I think Japan had 5G. Like, if I recall, they already had the technology years and years and years ago. They were so advanced. And then, so China, I've seen videos of Shanghai. It's really an advanced society. Like, they have skyscrapers and like bright lights and technologies that are not available in America. And so Japan has the bullet trains, and America doesn't have the bullet trains. They have Amtrak, which, I've been on Amtrak. It's just, and I think over a decade ago, I went on the Euro train. I forgot. It might not be the Euro train itself, but one of the trains they had in Germany and in Europe. So definitely Germany was already like more than a decade ago. Their railway system was far more advanced than the Amtrak that America has. And it was just surprising for me, because I really thought that America was going to be technologically advanced, but to find that it is not. And actually, I've lived in places in America that, I kid you not, it's like 20, 30 years behind. There's really no infrastructure, and I don't know how people are getting by, but there's literally this area that I used to live in before. I think it was an oil town and stuff, but other than that, in terms of infrastructure and development, there was literally nothing, and there was like miles and miles and miles of nothing. And that's a lot of the parts of America's, the rural parts actually have literally miles and miles of nothing. And it's just, I never thought that America would be like that. In my head, it was, far more advanced than that. But having lived in America, it's just, it's not what I expected. So I did, learn to adjust. But apparently, and I did have a coworker. She was sweet and stuff, but she did tell me that the Philippines, that we lived in huts and tree houses, and I'm like, what the, I didn't want to curse and stuff or cuss because it was really, a misconception as well, because there's parts of the Philippines that is really like a lot of tall buildings, skyscrapers, developments and stuff like that. And it's a very, very, there's parts that are really bustling and it's really alive, and we have technology. But apparently, she thought that the Filipinos were still living on huts and trees, which was like, oh, okay. So which is the reverse of, my expectation of America versus her expectation of the Philippines, because in my head I was like, oh, America is far more advanced than it actually is. And in her mind, the Philippines is actually far more backwards than it actually is. So it was kind of weird. And I didn't really know how to begin to educate her, because it's like, how can you educate someone that really doesn't want to be educated about the rest of the world? And sadly, some people in America just think that there's no world outside of America, but there's actually a lot outside of America and beyond America. It's really nice and wonderful. I've been to Europe. It's really wonderful. I love Europe. It's a lot of history, and some parts of Asia, they're more technologically advanced than America. There's a whole world out there outside of America, and I just wish sometimes that Americans would learn to look outside of America and realize that there's a wonderful world out there. So I don't know, I'm just rambling, and because I don't know, I'm still very much surprised at people's misconceptions about other countries and stuff. And I have misconceptions of America, but those misconceptions were actually good misconceptions. Reality turned out to be different, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, and do check out my other videos, and I will post more videos of topics that I can think of. Okay, thanks for listening.